Welcome. Now, in this video, I'm going to be teaching you the elements of graphic design. Now, what are the elements of graphic design? The elements of graphic design are the building blocks and the foundation of any design. That's how I put it. They are the building blocks of any design. You can't have a building, a solid building, without a solid foundation. So the foundation determines how solid the building will be. So elements of art or graphic design are the basic units of any visual design that form the design structure and conveys the visual message. So what am I saying here? That element of design makes up the entirety of that design, whatever, and that's all you need to understand that. So why you should be a graphic designer? First is you can find employment in any industry. There is no industry, there is no sector I can mention that they don't need a graphic designer. A graphic designer is always, there is no sector you can't work in. As a graphic designer, you can be employed anywhere. You can work in multiple environments. That's if you're freelancing. If you're freelancing, there is no way you can't design with your phone. There is no way you can't design with your laptop. You're in aeroplane, you can do it in the comfort of your house. So you can design in multiple environments. You can choose to be self-employed. You can be in the comfort of your house, set up your studio and be there. Work. The beautiful thing about this thing is that you can work at your own pace. You work at your own time when you want to work. In global jobs and most developed countries, they pay you for the work you do per hour. So they are buying your time. Can you imagine that? They are buying your time. But right now, the beautiful thing about this is you are self-employed. You own your time. Do what you want to do when you want to do it, and before you will remain relevant. Graphic design has always been there, and it remains relevant. You just have to develop yourself according to the trend, and you can't go out of relevance because there is no level of development the world will get to that will not need graphic design, motion graphics, or any aspect of it. Okay. So now, what are the elements of graphics design? We have the lines, we have the shapes, we have the texture, we have the colors, the typography. We're looking at forms, space and images. Line, shape, texture, colors, typography, form, space and images. All these come together to form the elements of graphics design. Now when we're talking about line is the most basic element of graphic design, and the reason is because it's a shape that connects two or more dots. There is nothing you do in graphic design that you will not need a line. A line can be expounded to form whatever you need it to be. So lines can be curved, straight, thick, thin, two-dimensional, three-dimensional, whatever really. So you see a straight line here, you see dotted line, you see a wavy line. That is lines for you. And then we have the shape. The shape is two-dimensional, defined area created by lines. So different types of shapes include the geometric, abstract, or organic shapes, all of which are basic elements of design. This is what you need to understand about shape. So we have the geometric shape. The geometric shape are simply shapes that demonstrate objects that we see in real life. So we see a square, you see a circle, you see a triangle. While the organic shapes are shapes that are not made by man, not man-made shapes. They don't have a defined, restricted borders. Okay, they follow no rules when it comes to shape. They are free-form shapes. They depict real-life scenarios. They are not man-made. So you can see a bird, you can see a leaf. These are natural things. That's why they call organic. And then we have the abstract shapes. The abstract shapes are depictions of real things without being exact representation. So they are icons to see your phones. So you are going to get to use these shapes a lot. The geometric shape, the organic shape, the abstract shape, all through your design journey. Move to the next. Now we have the texture. The texture in design refers to how things look like they are feel they way to be touched. So for example, texture can be rough, smooth, glossy, soft, hard, etc. Listen, all these add up to form a design. When you start adding light and effect to a particular 2D shape, it becomes a three-dimensional shape. You can create a texture for it and it starts to have a feel. The texture is another element used to draw attention. It's very important. When a design is just plain like that, it does not draw the attention of the audience, but texture makes it feel so real. And it can be added to other elements like shape, colors, images, and type. So we move to the next now, which are the colors. First on the texture, let's look at these images here. You can see this very well, that this image here does not feel so real. It looks like animated image. You can see that. But let's come to this one. You can feel it. It resonates with you. You can feel it. It looks so real. We move to the next. Is color. If color is one element that is essentially important. The importance of color cannot be overemphasized in attracting attention because the psychology behind the feelings that color can evoke. A color is not just, we don't just use colors because you like it. There must be a message such color is communicating. There's something called the psychology of color. So when you study the psychology of color, which you learn graphic design and color theory, you get to understand that every color communicates a particular feeling to the audience, communicates a particular message to the audience. And if the audience do not get that message, then you are done. A very good example, do you see red color during Valentine because it communicates love, it communicates that passion, that atmosphere to the audience. And then you see green colors such as green, colors such as green and red again in December, showing the love of God. So you cannot do a design without taking note of the color theory. A very good example, our brand Celestial Graphic Design Institute, where our colors are standard. We have the maroon color. Maroon color symbolizes passion, confidence, creative thoughts, excitement, power, risk, passion, love, ambition, courage, strength, warmth, beauty, and is also associated with responsibility and thoughtfulness. So we consider this before we created. So celestial, this maroon color communicates professionalism, creativity, luxury. So when you're looking at it, it communicates something to you. Look at the next color we use here. We have the white color. The white color signifies what is good, what is right, what has integrity. And you see the next color here that looks like a yellow color. Yellow color communicates energy. It's a very dynamic color. So it motivates people for quick action. Because in CGDI here, you must take a quick action to determine what you want to do and create room for new ideas. You see, all that was within our colors, all the colors, and you can see these colors being reflected on this design here. You see the white, you see the yellow, and then you see the maroon. Go right. So there are three main characteristics to color. We have the hue, we have the color family, we have value, how light and dark the color is, and then we have saturation, the purity of the color. So what you have here in this diagram is the color wheel. We have the primary colors under here, we have the secondary colors, and then we have the full color wheel. When you see this, you understand the difference between the primary colors, the secondary colors, and the full color wheel. The next we're going to be looking at, before we continue, I'll end this video so it's not too long. Okay, see you again.